Last 2 nights we've had track marks in the bark dust. Ready? You could be my sidekick? Yeah? Okay. I give up. Dilemma. Okay, sweetie. At least he doesn't whimper. He's being a good boy. He's just observing what's going on. Love you too, buddy. I love you too. Good morning. Stacy Jo here. Indecisive Gardener is my channel, and welcome, or welcome back. How you doing? Coffee. Cheers. I hope you have your cup. Okay, so today we are going over the garden, and this video is more for myself to document what worked and what did not work. So I'll be walking around and talking about each individual plant and what I would like to do next year about that crop. And so I would like you to come join me, and I'd like to share, so come along. Okay, so first, I did a boo-boo. So this poor thing, this is a raspberry plant that my daughter had me take care of while she's in the process of finding a new home. And overnight, I would say 2 nights, because my husband said the night before it was starting to wilt. The very next night, this is what happened. We determined that it was because it was root bound and it was in too small of a pot, so I transplanted it. But really, I only had the compost I have made, which it wasn't ready. And it's not coming back. But we'll work on it. I mean, it'll probably come back next year and we can start over, we hope. This sunflower, the squirrels love. They climb up the trellis and they pop off the heads, eat them up. And it's becoming a nuisance. I have a puppy licking my hand, sorry. I really have a problem with all the pests this year. Sweetie, you can't eat berries. I'll kick you out. No berries. Leave it. Thank you. Marionberries are looking healthy, more so than years past, actually. Quite green still. There are pest problems. Berries are done for the year. No more harvest. But I got several gallons this year, and they're still in the freezer. I'll have to freeze dry them. So I still have a little bit to come, but that's pretty much it. The other day, I transplanted this kale. It's I believe a red Russian. Let me look. Focus. Haas, from Haas Tools, Red Russian Kale, 65 days. And I put worm castings around it. I've been picking off the caterpillars from the white moths that fly around. You know those beautiful little white moths that fly around the brassicas and such? They decimated my seedlings before I even got them in the ground. So daily I've been picking them off and feeding them to the goldfish in the pond. Goldfish love them. The goldfish will eat them. Little fishies, where are you? You got lunch? Fishy, fishy, fishy. Fishy. Come here, fishy. I got all of these off of one plant. Yeah. They're on top of each other. I'm not done. Grow in the fall, they said. It'll be good, they said. They said there's less pest pressure in the fall. There is? Yeah, it got broke. We're looking for worms.
How many we got this morning? Probably, what, 30 by now?
Yeah.
I mean, really serious.
And this is just them being outside hardening off. Can't believe it.
And how many did you get yesterday?
A good dozen.
Oh, I got another one. I got another one. Right there.
Yep.
Look at that. We've already, I don't even know how many we've already thrown out.
Yeah. They make good fish food.
This is disparaging. I mean, it really is. Because they're not even living outside.
Yeah. These go inside every night.
I gotta put my MacGyver hat on because this is not good. Look at this plant. And these are kept inside. This is ridiculous.
Look at that. Well, honey, you're gonna create something for me?
Gonna have to come up with something. This ain't gonna work. This is not gonna work.
All right, see ya.
So, if something like this
that you normally put over your plates at a picnic.
Here's your cabbage thingy.
Uh-huh.
Rain could get in.
Is it tall enough?
Probably not for a cabbage plant.
But okay.
In theory.
But the idea. Okay, so this will work though because the cabbage is not going to be that big when it gets cooler and the moths go away for the winter.
Okay.
So,
so what do you think of this
they will
idea?
stay small enough to stay in there until the moths are no longer around.
So you like my idea?
I like your idea. So we're going to try this. And it gets to be all pretty too.
And these you just get these on Amazon?
These I actually got at Camping World.
Okay.
So.
But they probably have something like this on Amazon too, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because this ain't gonna work. Okay, just curiosity. Let's see something. Steal one of these guys.
Okay.
Since your coffee cup is not exactly what we need. Yeah, see, I already see a problem here.
It's already too tall.
Yeah. Now, granted, it's in the
It's
pot.
going to be in the ground.
Okay. So
yeah. Yeah.
that might work.
That'll work.
I don't know how tall these
For
things
the
get.
time being, until probably mid-October, I will take it off. And
I don't know how tall these get, though, but... Okay, cool. You know how to release this thing?
No, I don't. I never used them.
Oh, okay, that was easy.
Oh, like an umbrella.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you, honey.
You got it.
Now, the zinnias and the sunflowers. I might do sunflowers here again next year. But the zinnias have to go elsewhere. And I am going to get me a dog. Come on, instigator. We are going to kick you both out. Yeah, that can't be in the garden. Okay, let's try this again. Zinnias. That's not a zinnia. So the zinnias are going to go next year. I mean, these aren't going to go just yet. But next year, I'm going to plant them in a different spot because I like this area for the kale and the spinach that I planted in here. And they definitely block the sun. I'm thinking I'm going to put zinnias amongst everything, you know, like stagger them around the garden next year. Hollyhock is coming back with a vengeance. Very healthy, no bugs still. That's good. That's another thing. Next year I think I've talked about this before, but I am going to do the landscaping in spring, get everything all tidied up, and that way everything will be nice and pretty, and I won't have to deal with a backdrop that is exploding. Everything will be pruned and trimmed and fertilized and wood chipped, ready to go. Here's another kale that I put into the ground, and it's from Tutorial Seed Company, and it is a winter boar kale. It should be very good in the winter. It should be able to survive, and hopefully I'll get some harvest throughout the winter and make yummy Tuscan soup. I also want to try it in my scrambled eggs. I think that would be delicious. The sweet potatoes are still green and lush and not ready to harvest. I have been checking. I do have some tubers starting, but they're quite small. Let's see if I can dig one up. See that? That's starting to form. It's not too big, but it's bigger than the last time I checked. So probably by October, mid-October, I will be able to harvest them, and be exciting because it'll be the first year I actually have sweet potatoes to harvest. So I'm really excited about this, and the sweet potatoes are very healthy, much better than the white russets. So this is a life changer. However, I do have russets and baby reds and Yukon golds, so let's check them out. This, I believe, is a russet. It was planted later than the rest of them, so we still have a lot of green going on. Here's the other russets, and they're just starting to die down, and when they completely die down, which won't take much longer, I will dig them up and probably make a video of it and show you. Another problem with pests is they will eat the flowers right off, and if you know what kind of bug does this, let me know. I do see a lot of white flies around them, and you're able to like totally brush your hands over the flowers and you see them popping over. So yeah, there's that, but if there's a way to get rid of them, let me know. I believe this is a Yukon Gold, or maybe a baby red, and the same with this one or the other. I planted those in front of the russets so I can tell them apart. Oh well. Now here is a lot more baby reds and Yukon Golds. They are ready. I believe I should get on the ball and actually harvest these. Maybe I'll do that today. Now I'm really enjoying growing potatoes in buckets. And it seems to work well. It has for the last few years, and I highly recommend it for those of you who are in the backyard, don't have much room. It really does work out. And then if you get a kiddie pool, then you can dump the whole bucket in there and you can dig. It's a treasure hunt. It is so fun to dig out all the potatoes. As you can see, this russet is about to be harvested. It's starting to die down, and that's what you're looking for. It needs to go a little bit longer. And again, it will probably be October, which is only in a week or two, that I will be harvesting the russet potatoes. Now I am gearing up for the winter garden, the fall garden. I have a lot of cabbage and kale going in. Well, some of you think it's one tray. Anyway, it's not that much, but it's enough for 2 people in a backyard. I do not have an area for these yet. And again, bug damage even as seedlings, as they harden off. I really want to put them in where the sweet potatoes are. So yeah, I have to wait. That's why I put them in pretty good sized pots. That way they can live in the pots a little bit longer until I get them into the ground. And hopefully I don't mess this up doing so. Here are some that I actually did get in the ground. I made way for them. This is where the carrots were this year. The carrots that never really produced any. Since I put them in the ground, they're not getting as many holes. The caterpillars are not munching on them. Of course, I grabbed them. I mean, daily I've been harvesting these darn caterpillars for the goldfish. So enjoying yourself yet? How's your coffee? Nice to have coffee, warm coffee on a cold morning like today. It's nice to have hoodies on, yay! Yes, love this time of year. Of course, my birthday's coming up. Anyway, the sun gold cherry tomatoes are starting to slow down. I still have plenty to harvest as soon as they ripen. And I don't like to ripen them until they're about this orange. Unlike, let's say, this orange. So I'll show you. There's the difference. Definitely want these. I hit max recording time, so let's try this again. Cherry tomatoes. They will go in bags, Ziploc bags. I will put them in the freezer with the paste tomatoes and the slicers, and we'll make spaghetti sauce later. Now, I don't have a recipe for these. This is the first year I'll be making spaghetti sauce. Of course, this is the first year I've been learning canning. So there are a few YouTubers that I want to check in on because they have tried and true recipes for spaghetti sauce, and I would like to see if I can replicate what they make and see how good it is. And if it's good, I will probably, you know, tweak it a little bit and make it my own and can it, and it will be success, hopefully. Now let's move on to the green stalk. I want to show what I've been up to. Freedom, can I make this video? Hello? Freedom, you're making noise. Darling. She's happy. What a happy girl. I'm starting this video, well, this clip over again because it didn't work out. There was just too much going on and I was squirreling pretty bad. So here we are. Spinach. That is a Bloomsdale savory spinach from Tutorial Seeds. And I have about 3 of those. That's a nice one. I also have about 3 of the New Zealand spinach that is also from Tutorial Seeds Company. Now, one of the things I love about green stalks is that you can twirl them around so we can see. Sun Angel spinach from Haas Tools. Now this one is not doing so well because I don't think I spun it into the sunlight soon enough. I have to keep up on it. The problem isn't Haas Tools. Haas Tools is a pretty reputable company. This one looks pretty good. And it's a fantail spinach from Haas Tools. Oh, something's been munching on that one. We also have a lot of chard. And it looks like this one's, get over here. This is Tutorial Seeds, a Swiss chard electric neon. Same with this one. This one's from Haas Tools again, bright light Swiss chard, and it goes around. And then look at that bright, brilliant one. That one is a rhubarb chard from Hudson Valley. Do pretty well with them. I like that seed company. So there she is. And I'm leaving the arugula wasabi because it's doing so well. Might as well keep it. Now let's look at the spaghetti squash. Powdery mildew is an issue. Now they say it's in the soil. So you're going to get it. I'm not sure how to rectify it except to remove the soil and put new one in. That's not going to happen because I am done spending all the money on soil. So I am making my own and I'm just going to have to learn. There is a spaghetti squash trying to form and it does not have enough time. But I have several, one here, 2 here, and several in there. And there's something I want to show. Cucamelons, so adorable. Isn't that just so cute? And I thought I ripped it out accidentally and killed it, but there they are. Let's go inside the fenced-in garden. Cucumbers are getting the mildew. They're lemon cucumbers. They seem to do much better than the silver slicers or the pickling ones. So I've been freeze drying them, which in the freeze dryer, they they stay a little sticky in the center. They don't completely dry up. So what I've been doing is I've been running them an extra cycle, refreeze them, re-dry them in the freeze dryer, and that seems to work. It's just not enough time, and even though it is like 24 hours before they're, the freeze dryer is done, it takes like 2 days for cucumbers. It's a thing, and I have to deal with it. Okay, so I did plant asparagus 2 years ago. Was it 2 years ago? No, last year I put this garden in. So last year I put in this asparagus, and I want to show you the stage that it is on the second year. I think next year I am going to plant more, and it will go over there. This particular paste tomato is called a Cor de Boo, I believe, or it's not blue, it's boo. Anyway, they are large and meaty, even more so for a paste tomato, and I'm thinking maybe I will grow these again next year. My husband thinks I should. He pointed this out, that they are big and meaty, so maybe I will grow these. More cucumber. This is where the silver slicer and the pickling were, and I think they cross-pollinated, but and there's lemon cucumber everywhere. So I don't recall ever planting this many. I thought I planted only one. Here is another paste tomato that I absolutely love, and I will redo. I will regrow next year. It is called the Oregon Star, and it is huge. Look at that, compared to that is a paste tomato. Now, I'm not impressed with the Kellogg's breakfast, but it might be because of the area, the soil. So if I'm in the soil for whatever crop I put in here next year, maybe it'll do better. I have gotten maybe 2 tomatoes to ripen. The blossoms fuse together, so they're hard to slice, and I really need to keep up on those. I think next year I really need to pluck them off so I don't have that problem. But yeah, I'm thinking the Kellogg's breakfast. It's just the area that I planted it. The soil's not as great over here, and it looks like I have one coming on there and one here, so there's still hope. And I did pick one the other day, and I sliced it and ate it on a burger, and oh my goodness, it is delish. Inside there's no seeds, there is no inside core. It was just pure meat, yellow meat, and it was so delicious. I will grow Kellogg's breakfast again just because of that. This is the second year for the artichoke, and we did not get a flower at all. So hopefully next year will be the third year. Hopefully I'll get some artichoke. The butternut squash is coming on nicely. There's about 3 of them. Good enough for 2 people. Now this tomato, it might be another Kellogg's breakfast, but I think if I remember right, I planted something else. I'm not quite sure. See what I mean about infused blossoms? This is the shape it is. Now, I don't believe they're supposed to be like that. Now here is the Nova paste tomato, another good producer. However, I'm not sure if I'm going to regrow these next year. And here is the Italian Romas. They were the first to ripen and the first to grow green fruit, so definitely gonna plant Italian Romas next year. Here's the San Marzano. A lot of you swear by them, but they didn't produce much. But I may not plant these next year. See what I mean by lemon cucumbers? They're everywhere. I could have swore I only planted one, but then last year that's all I grew, pretty much. Now these here are the Heinz. I like their shape, and I think they're gonna work great for spaghetti sauce. Probably the Heinz I'll probably grow again next year. Maybe. Now for the showstopper, Cherokee Purple. By the way, those are more spaghetti squash. I have gotten so much fruit off of these two plants. Now isn't that funny? Several blossoms infusing together. I think there was 4 of them. I've decided Cherokee Purples are my favorite. Definitely grow these next year, maybe several. Here is the Harbo Nano. They are still yellow, although that one looks like it might be blushing. Finally, they are slow to ripen. The okra is done, pretty much. Was not impressed with the okra. This is the best producing plant out of 4. It's the only producing plant out of the 4. So probably being I'm the only one that eats freeze-dried okra, I probably won't grow it again next year. Why don't I just grow hibiscus? I'm only growing it for the flowers anyway. Zucchini, this is the Black Beauty. I think it's time to pull them out, but they keep producing, so I mean, I could put the cabbages here instead of where the sweet potatoes are. That's an idea. Maybe I should pull these out today, or within the next week at least. And these are ghost peppers. Definitely not producing because it was in the shade for the longest time, and then I transplanted it out here into the sunny area, into the main garden, and they're not producing, which is okay with me. The older I get, the more I don't like the heat. It used to be if my nose wasn't running and my eyes weren't watering, it wasn't hot enough. But now that I'm older, just give me a jalapeno, honey. That's all I can take. So this is the acorn, and it looks like I have a few more. I had a few that actually rotted back there, so I get 3 this year. That's okay for 2 people. We're not really that big of squash eaters anyway, so I told myself what tomatoes to keep, what tomatoes to grow. I think I covered it all. Next year with the zucchini, I think it's just going to be Black Beauties, no patty pan. Definitely Cherokee Purples and Kellogg's Breakfast, and the Oregon Star, Italian Romas, and oh, that French one. But there was another one that I was going to grow besides the Heinz. Anyway, I'll figure it out. I definitely have to focus on compost and making sure I do it right and make sure that it has full nutrients, and I probably will start a worm casting bin. Isn't that exciting? Get to play with worm poop. So, I'm on the back porch now, and I have my journal. So, this journal has saved my butt over the years. I actually sketch out the garden plan where I'm going to put things the next year, and I suggest you do so also. So next year I'm going to probably put in 3 more raised beds, and that's going to be solely for tomatoes. And that way the tomatoes, I could put a cattle panel there, and the tomatoes don't have to lean against the fence around the garden. Instead, inside there will be the squashes and the melons and the vine plants. And tomatoes will be in the new raised beds. That will be the slicers. And then where the zucchini is now along the outside of the fence will be the paste tomatoes, the peppers, and basil. And probably with the slicers too will be more peppers and basil. So that's the plan next year. Now, it doesn't mean that I'm going to stick to it because, I'm indecisive. But that's the plan for now. And I truly suggest that you do the same. Take note of what worked where and what did not work, and when to plant, and what fertilizers, and how often to water. Totally write it all out, because I promise you will not remember when the time comes next year. So remember to plant kindness, to grow love, and God bless. Have a good day.